reasons you suck at hair.
Why call me out like that, bro?
Number 1, your hair looks like grass. Many beginners
No, this is genuinely really good. I feel like
strands hoping for a good result.
Stop. What's up, guys? So today we're going to be taking a look at some more art tutorials on TikTok. Let's see if we can learn something new. First up, why your art TikToks aren't getting views. Oh boy.
Are you an art TikToker and you're wondering why you aren't getting views? No, it's not because your art sucks. I have the secret to crack the code for you. I have found that art TikTokers make one of two types of videos, and none of them do well. Either one, they do speed paintings, or two, they just show a drawing process. So it's the sketch, and then they go into the rendering, and then they show you the final product. Instead, you need to do two things. One, you need to build a story around your art and your videos, and two, you need to clickbait the first intro with something pretty and visual to look at. I'm gonna reference Hannah Q. They start all of their videos with their OC. So bam, first 3 seconds, we don't have just a black and white sketch. And then they're literally doing a speed painting video, but they build a whole story around it. So the story of this video is that they are drawing an OC based on what their YouTube comments recommended. And voila, we have their OC at the end. First, they again clickbait with a very pretty image of their OC. And secondly, it is a speed painting video, but sketching is kind of boring. They pretty much immediately go into coloring and rendering. So implementing those strategies as an art TikToker, I think could definitely boost the views. And it's not because your art is bad again, it's just the video structure that's kind of lacking.
I know I'm in this too, but it's just kind of sad to me that our generation is just constantly forced into trying to play this numbers game. But I always maintain that no matter what, the first and foremost thing you should focus on as an artist is the quality of your work. The advice is good, the advice is solid, but again, hyperfixating on the numbers is just not something I advise anybody to do. So that's the 5 out of 10. Top tips for beginner artists. All right, let's see here. Shapes. Take a simple shape, make it 3D, and try to distort the 3D shape in perspective. Okay, all right. Ooh, that was a bad one. This can make you more comfortable with visualizing your draws. I get what you're saying though. I get what you're saying. Another thing you can do is leave the construction lines in. Yeah, I like this one. So you can kind of pretend like you're seeing through the shape. This one's really helpful in understanding three-dimensionality and how your shape actually takes up space. Now, the only issue here is you kind of left out the basics of perspective. Let me just try to show you guys. This is my keyboard. Now, when you guys view my keyboard from straight on, you can see it's a rectangle. But when I do this, look at how much longer the front edge is now compared to the back edge. And you can see how these sides are now running towards a vanishing point. That's called one-point perspective. Anytime you take two parallel lines and you view them from a perspective, they're gonna look like they're converging on each other as they merge into the distance. But this is a great exercise to practice your perspectives. How to draw hands? No, no, not the hands, bro. Not the head. These are nice hands, Jesus. Okay, start with the palm shape. Okay, I do that too. I would prefer to never have to do this again, but add 3 curved lines for each finger. These define direction and joints. For the fingers, think of them as cylinders. This helps define their shape and volume. Absolutely, you should think of your fingers as cylinders. I hope this helps you improve. Keep practicing and don't forget to use references. Yeah, that's the most important part. You gotta use references for hands, guys. Now, I don't know how you guys are built, but usually the first joint on your finger is the longest joint and it adds up to about the same length as the last 2 joints on your finger. That's why you see a lot of animated characters just leave out that final joint on the tip of your finger. Another thing that I've learned about hands through my suffering of drawing 300 hands in one day is your knuckle placements are extremely important. Try not to think of the fingers as individual fingers, but instead try to connect a line through all the knuckles and see the relationship between each knuckle. If you can get all your knuckles lined up correctly, it's gonna help you place all your fingers in the right spots. 7 out of 10. Show me!
3 art techniques will change your life. Number 1, reflections. Instead of doing this, use the lasso tool and cut the object you want to be reflected. Then copy the object. Now use the perspective grid to move it like this. Then you can simply adjust the color to make it look like a reflection.
What?
Number 2.
Oh, okay, we'll continue, but I'm gonna get back to that.
Number 2, retro game. Go to filters, select on artistic, then select retro game. Here, you can change the level of the pixelation, the dot size, and the saturation of the pixels. Number 3, grayscale. Notice how the skin color is too light. After using too many overlays, tap on canvas, select color mode, then select grayscale. Here, you can color your illustration while seeing the values of your drawing. Then use color mode and go back to color.
My God. Oh my. Okay, let's talk about the first tip. Now, you had a good thing going here when you said to just copy the shape that was already there and just reflect it. But I hate to break it to you, this is not how lighting works, and this is not how reflections work. If this vertical wall were to be reflected on this horizontal ground, the reflection would still be a vertical wall. It wouldn't be suddenly horizontal across the floor. You can see this in everyday examples, like when it rains and there's a puddle on the ground. All the buildings that are reflected in the puddle are perfectly vertical, and they're not suddenly lying horizontally. That would be insane. That would fry our brains. Look, I'm sorry, but that's going to be a 3 out of 10.
Biggest commonality I've seen between artists is that they hate drawing hands. Luckily for you, I love drawing hands.
Oh, you
because I'm a
freak.
freak.
Oh.
So I wanted to show you steps.
Okay, we love the self-awareness.
Tip number 1 is shape. There will always be 2 kinds of shapes. One is a square for the front and the back perspective, and then one's a triangle. This is for the side perspectives. You will almost never need to deviate from these shapes, so they're very trustworthy. Tip number 2 is line posing. This is specifically for the fingers. Make a little spider and you'll be able to make some really nice, quick, easy, dynamic poses. Tip number 3 is structure. You want to make sure that all of the fingers are not the same length, but the best way to figure out the correct length is by using this quick shape. And you also want to make sure that the top of the thumb will never go past the first digits of the finger. You can just keep using that curve and it'll always be the right length. Hopefully this helps. Good luck.
Good. Okay. Not bad at all. But you didn't mention the number 1 most important thing, which is to use references, bruh. This is 1 out of 10.
How I draw faces like this. Let's use this as a reference. First, grab a pencil and a paper.
Oh, you lost me there, bro.
Then draw a circle. Next, a line in the middle. Draw a V or U shape for the chin and jaw. This will serve as a structure of the face. Draw a circle for the nose and 2 more circles for the eyes. Then a line between the nose and chin. Now we have a simplified skull. Let's draw the nose first. We can measure the distance of the eyes. Now, draw the irises and the eyelids. Draw a French fries-like shape for the eyebrows. Don't forget the lips. Emphasize the jawline fire. The neck, of course. The hairline will be here, between the eyebrow and the top of the head. Align ears with the eyebrows and nose. Thank you for watching.
Dude, if I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think you need all these construction lines in your process. You, sir, you kill art. You clearly know the basic proportions of the face. You're not even using the basic proportion measurements like dividing the front of the face into 3 equal thirds to figure out where the brows are, where the nose is, and where the chin is. You're kind of just laying this shape down and just slapping features on. Like, I know for a fact this method is not going to work for somebody who doesn't understand basic proportion. But that is a beautiful 10 out of 10 drawing right there. Well done. You too can follow this process if you already know what you're doing.
3 reasons you suck at hair.
Why call me out like that, bro?
Number 1, your hair looks like grass. Many beginners think that the details are at the bottom, but this results with the hair looking like clear grass. Instead, add subtle lines that show the forms of the hair strands, show the clump originating from the hairline, and always add some form of curvature to the strands. Number 2, scratchy lines. Use big, long strokes when drawing hair. This is a mistake I used to make because I thought hair had to have a lot of lines, and 8-year-old me thought that scratchy lines looked better. You'll be surprised how much smoother and faster you can draw when you minimize wasted movements. Number 3, design. Think big, medium, and small shapes. As humans, we tend to focus on the details and miss the bigger picture. We focus on the little strands hoping for a good result, but in most cases, it doesn't. Rather than focusing on just the drawing aspect, think design. Is the hair wavy, straight, or spiky? What areas need to be simplified? In the end, hair is about the whole and not the strands. By the way, we have a great section on hair in our book. It's full of breakdowns and step-by-steps. It's available on Amazon. The link is in our bio.
Damn, you got a book? Draw Anime Academy. Oh, I see. I see. This is a corporate account. I've been scammed. No, this is genuinely really good. I feel like
strands hoping for a good result.
Stop. As I was saying, this is really good. I love the advice about breaking it down into big shapes, medium shapes, and then small shapes so that you don't hyperfixate on individual hair strands. I was the exact same way when I was younger. When I used to sketch characters in my sketchbooks, bro, I would have been tracing over like every single strand of hair. I just thought more details equals better, but that's often not actually the case. So, really good video here. 10 out of 10.
I'm glad
Oh,
to see you.
no.
It's a fantastic
What
day
the
here, and I hope it is wherever you're at. Let's do just I'll be happy. Today, I'm going to start out just a little spot of color. Just a little touch of color.
That was physically painful for me to watch. I don't know how to feel about this, but I will say I love this final result. And I think the fact that you destroyed so many of your previous beautiful paintings just for this, it adds a sense of value and a sense of story to this piece that you made. So I guess mission accomplished. Don't do this, guys. 2 out of 10. Do you want to improve your skill in drawing from imagination? That's all you need. Okay, pen and sketchbook. Choose the one that suits you and set the time. What is this? Oh, a pose website. Look for the main lines of the pose and enjoy the progress. This is great. This is the right message here. You know, everyone's always asking, how do you draw better from imagination? And the only answer is to study from real life. Thank you for encouraging the kids to study. 10 out of 10. The biggest art tip I got. End friendship with circle. Okay, interesting. So we're being fatphobic now. Befriend this. No way. Are you serious? JK, I mean, that would help me, but use what you want. There's no way you use this. Are you out of your mind? Hell no. That's a 1 out of 10. Square for life. Here on Sam Does Arts, we are Team Box. We love the box color picker. Here's how I draw faces. My art for reference. All right, I'm convinced. Let's do it. Step 1, find reference pic. That's it. That's all you need. 10 out of 10.
A common mistake artists make when drawing is not continuing the trajectory of their lines.
Yes.
This results in parts of the drawing looking disconnected, and unfortunately, whenever people look at your art, they do notice this. So whenever you're drawing something that gets hidden behind something else, make sure you lightly sketch the line so you can actually follow where it'll end up.
This is really great. I'm surprised we actually never really had a video that talked about this before, but this is such a fundamental skill. Personally, I do this all the time. Every time I'm drawing something that's covered by something else, I try to activate that X-ray vision. That continuity is very important, and thank you for talking about this. 10 out of 10. And there we go. We've ended on a high note. I feel like this was not so bad at all. Anyways, guys, hopefully you learned something new from this video. Hope you found this helpful. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more art-related content. Check out my Patreon for monthly tutorials, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye!
And a paper.
Wanna learn
How I draw faces like this.